if an artist can promote their own work on Instagram, project manage for themselves, and can handle client relations, what should a rep be doing for them? Probably nothing. Now, I don't know many artists who can get an influx of work and wear all of those hats at once and still produce the work they need to produce unless they've got a studio. So I would say where I find the rubber meets the road, as you say, is if an artist has like 10 or 15 jobs a month coming in, those inquiries take time to suss out, to due diligence on, to see which ones are actually jobs, to estimate on, contract, negotiate, sign up for, and then produce. Therein lies like where a company and a rep like me would be helpful, because we take on a lot of the admin work, we take on a lot of discovery calls, and we'll just come back and say, hey, here's of the 15 inquiries, as you know, 5 are actually real jobs. And of those 5, these 3 are actually a decent budget. Of these 3, this one looks really cool and totally, in line with your values and what you're trying to work on. Which ones do you want to do? That aside, I think where the rep world is shifting is much more in the line of, like I said, career support, creative coaching, and actually helping artists get to that next level. Because, and I'll be the first one to say it, I don't think artists need us as much anymore to promote their work. Like Instagram, Behance, even, some of our clients are even using Pinterest, like our brand clients and ad agency clients. So there's so many areas where artists can promote themselves. Now, I'll happily help them put a promotional plan together. I'm really, one of my favorite things to do is portfolio reviews. It's like, I will be the first person to tell you, like, all right, that doesn't look good. We need to change that. This is what's selling for you. Put more of this on here. So there's a number of different things in an advisory and coaching capacity that I think, reps can be now. Whether or not some of them are going to do that is hard to say because, for a long time, the rep world was operating at a 35% commission where they would have an artist roster of, say, 40 to 60 talent, and only a few reps. So their margins were much higher. So they're going to have to adjust. And I think some of my colleagues and competitors aren't going to like that I'm saying that, but it's the truth, like you're going to have to adjust. You either give artists something different that they can understand the value for and pay for, or you start to reduce your commission because you're not doing so much of the marketing, you're not doing so much of the outbound selling, because frankly, it's a saturated market. And most of my clients are telling me how full their inboxes are of newsletters, cold emails, and then LinkedIn's now getting flooded with that as well. So.
Yeah. I think you summed up like what an agent really does is reduce the load, especially for an artist or an illustrator who doesn't really want to do a lot of the business stuff, the admin stuff. And, just make their life easier where they can just concentrate on making the art and you can do the stuff they don't like doing.